YouTube! What the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. In the name, actually, they're patchy. I don't think I've ever gone by HeirofCarthage since, like, I played in Rome 1, but I've done patchy for a long time. Well, I say that. I'm always switching around, but I wanted the name patchy because I was like, if I go under patchy, the other person's not even going to believe it. And it's kind of funny because before the battle, this guy comments like, wait a minute, you like the real patchy? And he about half didn't believe it for himself. So I brought an army here to face down the Wood Elves. The Wood Elves oftentimes play right into Chaos's hands with the Forsaken, being really good against their infantry for the most part. Forsaken are really good against anything that doesn't have armor. And Wildwood Rangers are kind of an exception here in the sense that they also have really good weapon strength and decent charge bonus. And pretty solid leadership. So Wildwood Rangers are like the one unit that can kind of stand up to the Forsaken, but even them I don't think they trade real favorably with Forsaken. They can beat them, but they take a pretty hefty beating in the process. But at least it gives them a front line they can stand. Now, this particular Wood Elf has kind of cheaped out on cavalry versus Chaos, gone with the extra Eternal Guard, and a lot of Wildwood Rangers. There's 6 Wildwood Rangers, I believe, and then some Eternal Guards, and then he's got 4 Archers, too, so enough to be dangerous. Now, I don't like, initially, that I had my Marauders matching up against his Wildwood Rangers, because I didn't like that matchup, but at this point, oh, look at this, I've got a misclick right here. So this Chaos, that Forsaken's going to get slaughtered unnecessarily. That's really unfortunate for me. Yeah, that misclick was bad. That's a huge mistake. These Wildwood Rangers out here take a head-on charge from the Forsaken. The Forsaken are actually doing pretty decent out here. We'll see how that goes here. The Wildwood Rangers get charged here and here. And then the Wildwood Rangers are going to come forward for more support. In the meantime, his Lord, I'm kind of waiting for him to use the Prey of Anathrema because I know that he has it. His Lord's on an Eagle because he's had to use so much money on the Archers. And this gives me a chance to bring the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths from behind. And I get a Spirit Leech off on the Glade Lord here too. But then he's going to use that Prey of Anathrema, and he's going to do some pretty big damage to me here. This is a bit of trouble, so I've got to bring in the Dragon Ogres to keep his Archers from slaughtering my Lord. In the meanwhile, obviously the unit that I didn't get the charge bonus on is soundly beaten. The units where even I got the charge are actually getting defeated. This one got outflanked, and that may have played a role. So the Wildwood Rangers doing better than I expected, actually, versus the Forsaken. Quite a lot better. And my army, infantry at least, gets torn up pretty quick. And I wasn't liking my odds at this point. But I was like, you know what, let's keep fighting. I'm gonna kill a bunch of these wussy elf archers. That's right, chumps. Get chaosed. So I got my Dragon Ogres. It takes infantry an exceptionally long time to kill Dragon Ogres. They're gonna need the support of archers. And here, his Lord was kind of sitting here, and I wasn't know if he was paying attention, and he's not, because he could have run away. But I believe I got it. Yeah, I got another Spirit Leech in, and I get in a quick melee attack. He has to use his Potion of Toughness, but still takes a savage beating in the process, which essentially makes him waste his potion. Now, I had to use my potion too, because of the beating he gave me with the Prey of Anathrema. But you can see here, Dragon Ogres are getting kind of chewed up, but they're also keeping his Archers busy, which is huge. And this allows some of my Forsaken to regroup. And this one actually gets some massive damage done here, because it gets in behind, and now the fear of the Shaggoths is going to come into play because I get a rear charge here and I have more units coming in. So as the elves get attacked from multiple directions, it's going to start to take a toll. His Lord keeps running away, so I was like, yeah, whatever, screw that. So I'm going to bring in some terror attack, and then I'm going to drop, I'm going to do some overcast, what's it called? Doom and Darkness. So it has an extended effect area. So minus 16 leadership plus the terror, and it takes a quick hold, and all the Wood Elves just scatter in the face of all these terror. So almost every single Wood Elf unit here just routs. A few of them hold their vigor here, or their leadership, but the rest of them just get trashed. So this right here gives me a break, and since his Lord's not on a dragon, he can't seriously threaten my Lord very well. If he got down on the ground here, he has an opportunity, but his unit's leadership is just so poor right now. And this break in their leadership allows my guys to get free. The only unit that's kind of stuck here, and I don't know how he's getting stuck on these wimpy little infantry, but this Dragon Ogre gets kind of stuck here and a little bit chewed up. But the rest of his units I'm able to chase off. The key here is how many Archers of his I took off the field. There's 1, 2. There's a third one that routed over here, and there's a fourth one, I believe, that is either dead or has routed off somewhere else. So I'm able to get rid of all of his Archers. And that's key here, because see, now he uses this Prey of Anathrema. He has to use up all the rest of his ammo on the Lord, and he can use it, and this is good. It pins my guy. It gives him time, but this is also giving me time to hunt down his archers, and his Lord, like I said, can't really threaten me here. I get a few more Forsaken back and some Marauders, and I'm going to just kind of charge in, try and do some damage with them, but right here, this is what happens. So with the Terror and being attacked singly like this, his archers just continue to get shredded. So it's not good news for the elf player at this point. He's managed to get this one archer away, but the rest of his guys are in trouble. So I came over here. I want to support my Shaggoth. I want to get him out of this ball. I was hoping to cause some terror, but the way my Lord ended up attacking here wasn't any good. So we're just going to have to flee away from this fight because he's just got reinforcements coming plus archers nearby. So I let this Shaggoth take way more of a beating than I should have. I should have pulled it out of that fight a long time ago once that prey of Anath Rayma let off. But at this point, it's looking pretty good for me in terms of cleaning up his archers, and that's a pretty critical thing for me. If his archers get cleaned up, I have a very substantial chance of winning because his Lord has had to use his potion already, and I have Spirit Leech, and with Doom and Darkness also, so at this point I'm just letting my magic reserves recharge. They're like in the 20s, and I still have Arcane Conduit that I can use as well. So I should be able to get a full magic reserve ready for a final assault, which means I can Spirit Leech his Lord, and then Doom and Darkness as infantry while charging in with terror-causing units, and I should be able to wrap him up. I mean, he's still pretty even, though. You can see there's a lot of elf units left, so initially this battle looked very bad for me, to the point where I was like, ah, man, I blew this. I might as well just admit defeat, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not admitting defeat. That's silly. My opponent joined a game. He deserves to get to finish the game, and so I decided, you know what? I shouldn't do that, just because, you know, it's easy for us to get upset and be like, yeah, you know what? You win this fair and square, and you just give in, but it kind of takes away some of the fun. And in this case, it would have cost me a battle, and some of you can see that I'm foreshadowing here. Yes, I expect to finish strongly. Look at that charge. I expect to finish strongly in this battle because of my position, so I'm going to come in and give a good fight here. It's going to be close, but I feel like that I have a solid chance of winning if I play my cards right. So I have 4 units left. All of them have terror, so that puts me in a good position. So I'm going to fast forward for a second because I have to kind of finish wrapping up all his archers. So I'm going to make all of his archers and all these guys like, okay, no regrouping. We're going to go over here and kill this archer. And then it allows me to kind of fly over here, and I'm going to go, all right, let's take care of his Lord. So I hit him with the Spirit Leech. It darn near kills the Glade Lord, and the Glade Lord, it tends to just kind of kite away from me endlessly. Because as long as the Lord's alive, it's going to make it harder for me to focus on killing his infantry, because his Lord can turn around and fire at me with the bow, and it's pretty effective. However, although this eagle can outrun me, it can't outrun Spirit Leech. Good old Spirit Leech, the bane of patch 1. But it's still a useful spell. It's not OP, it's a useful spell. It eats up quite a bit of magic, and with so much healing around, it has to be used intelligently. In this case, I know that I can use it because he's had to use his health potion, so his Lord will drop to Spirit Leech here. So that's the end of the Glady. Have a nice day, Glady. I'll take good care of your little elfies. So now I just need to play my cards right here. He has his guys in the woods. This is probably smart. I don't know if it slows down my Dragon Ogres or not. I would think it slows down the charge on some of my units. Plus, I think the Wildwood Rangers get certain buffs for being in the woods. So it's definitely intelligent for him to fight in the woods here, for multiple reasons. Now what I don't want to do here is be premature. I need the Terror, I need the Doom and Darkness, and on my charges I have to hit a group of infantry from the front and the back in order to reliably terrorize it. Here I drop the Doom and Darkness and I get pretty much all his units affected. So now it's time to dive bomb in. So you can see I'm going to dive bomb in, and I'm going to try and get over into the back of these Wildwood Rangers and break these guys up. Now Wildwood Rangers are immune to psychology, I believe they are. So I can't terrorize them, but I can break their leadership with rear charges and then Doom and Darkness, and that's exactly what happens here. So again, not able to terrorize them, but essentially we can terrorize them by just breaking their leadership. So immune to psychology does not mean unbreakable. Those are two different things. Immune to psychology just means that I can't terrorize, like scare his guys off with terror, but it doesn't mean that you can't break their leadership. And the same goes true for Black Orcs and a lot of other units like this. So I end up turning what looked very bad for me into a decent Pyrrhic victory there. It worked out nice for me in the end. My opponent played me a tough game, and I appreciate it. It was fun. The Wildwood Rangers were a challenge that I don't typically get from the Wood Elves. It seems like the Wood Elves like to sometimes go with mainly just the spears as the infantry, because they like to rely on like a lot of Starfire shafts or a couple of Wild Riders and stuff like that. And the fun thing with this build is the Wild Riders can be dangerous to the Forsaken, but they are not dangerous whatsoever to the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. The Shaggoths in a grouping will just smash the face off Wild Riders. And then the Sorcerer of Death combined with the Lord, they can definitely get skirmished and severely challenged by a Glade Lady on a dragon because she has armor piercing, but a Glade Lady and an eagle, not so much. So you do have to be careful when there's a dragon around. And there are times when that dragon comes after you that it's smart to try and dive bomb into where your Shaggoths are at, because then you can lure that dragon down on the ground and pound it with the Shaggoths. But you've got to use your Death Sorcerer to effectively help deal with the dragon. Where this gets a little bit trickier is if they have like a Branch Wraith healing a Glady or Durthu or something like that. This army is not particularly well suited to taking out a ton of Treekin because Treekin have a lot of armor. So again, there's definitely downsides to this build. At the same time, if you can deal with a Branch Wraith, you can usually kind of deal with some of the rest. You just have to play intelligently. But anyway, I like this build. I like it because it's fast and it puts the Wood Elves on their heels quickly, and that usually makes it harder for him to skirmish. You can see effectively here I was able to shut down the skirmishing, though his infantry put up quite a performance here. A couple of misclicks on my part, but he also had good infantry, and so it allowed him to get a good performance. So hey, I appreciate Chipster here for the fun game, and yes, it was actually me. You played the real me, not a fake Patchy. Are there a lot of fake me's out there? I've never run into one, but that would be kind of funny if I was playing incognito and ran into a fake me. That would be entertaining. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this one. I did. I'm happy to bring you this content. I thank those of you who are subscribing, commenting, liking, showing up, viewing, cursing at me, whatever it is that you want to do. Alright, I really don't appreciate it if you curse at me, but if you did so in a sarcastic comment, obviously I earned that one myself. Appreciate MSI sponsoring the motherboard in this build and helping me have a great computer to bring you great videos. And man, I'm looking forward to more content with you. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'll see you tomorrow.